Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Delbert, and I'm the Vice President of the International Society of Posture and Gait Research. And I'm sitting here together with Professor Ngaire Kerse, who will be one of our keynote speakers at the upcoming World Congress in Brisbane. It's very exciting. Ngaire works at the University of Auckland in New Zealand, so they are right neighbour in Australia, and she holds a chair position there at Aging Well, General Practice and Primary Healthcare. Ngaire is recognised internationally for her expertise in falls prevention in a variety of different settings and also in bicultural aging. She's innovative in her thinking and she pushes for equity in everything she does. And in 2020, Ngaire was also appointed a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit for her services to seniors and health. Ngaire, it's my true honour to sit here with you on this virtual couch. Thank you so much for making the time.
Well, thank you for having us, Kim, and I was honoured to be invited to be a plenary. Of course, I still, even though I'm old now, have this huge imposter syndrome. So I never really think that anything I've done is any good, but I'm really happy to talk about it.
Yeah, that's great. Lots of good things have happened from your research. Could you describe to us your research passion and why you care about this?
Well, I think falls and staying upright, putting it in a positive tone is my passion because I know and understand there's been great work with our organisations across the ditch between us and originating from New Zealand in falls prevention. But falls are just such a devastating thing. They're unexpected, they are unplanned for, and they can just have such devastating impacts, not just hip fracture, which is the tip of the iceberg, but all of that downstream stuff, loss of confidence, that spiral, doing less, therefore getting physically deconditioned, therefore falling more. And I know that it can be turned around in all kinds of different ways. So it's my passion. Having said that, as most of you will know, I haven't actually had a positive falls prevention trial as yet. But I do stand on the shoulders of giants with John Campbell and Melinda Gardner, who started the Otago exercise program all those years ago, which is still going and is still effective.
Yeah. What will you be talking to us about in your keynote?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about falls, and I met this guy called Jochen Klink, who's a fantastic epidemiology engineering type guy from Stuttgart, and we both started talking about all the funny things about falls. Like, for instance, the new thing is perturbation training. So it just seems like if you can rock people, that you wake something up in them, and then that stops them falling again. So we had this idea to take all the seats out of a bus and have a really bad bus driver and strap older people in with their harnesses on and just give them lots of perturbations that way. We haven't actually done that yet, but thinking about why people fall and why certain groups of people fall led us to this idea of having a dynamic risk. We all know that risk is not very predictive. There are many risk factors, identification tools out there. Well, none of them really predict who's going to fall over very well at all. Even when you add on some of the physiological stuff and all the great work that Stephen Lord's done with the PPI, and I think it's because the falls risk is dynamic and it's so dependent on the interaction between the person, between the environment, and the activities that they do. So each of those factors can change in unpredictable ways. And so if we can get people to understand that fall risk might be dynamic, they might think differently about how they deal with older people, about how they talk to older people about falls. And, we might be able to make a difference. So I think I'm going to talk about that. I do write my talks the night before, so it might change.
Well, that sounds very interesting. So is that would that describe the issues that you feel our community has to think about, as the issues in relation to falls prevention and risk prediction?
Well, there is a lot of falls prevention that is not due to individuals, but is due to society and our structures that we have. So if you look at falls prevention from the public health perspective, then you really have to improve the lighting, fix the footpaths, make the crossing the streets long enough for people to get across, think about the environmental things that can be fixed. So we all have to be more aware of that. I, as a GP and as a clinician, think more about the clinical stuff to do with the older person and what can be done about helping them be stronger, helping them be more reactive to their environment, and improving their even depression. If we could treat depression properly, we might prevent falls. So I think I'm trying to give the idea that it's really is everybody's business to think about falls prevention, and there's something that everybody can do. So hopefully I might be able to get that idea across.
Yeah, absolutely. And I could not agree more. It's such a big problem, falls in older people and people with clinical conditions, chronic conditions as well. So I'm very excited to hear about your talk. If it will be this topic or something else, I know it will be entertaining and it will be very interesting. And I'm looking forward to see you in Brisbane as well, and everyone out there too. So
and thank you so much for leading us into it, Kim. You've done a great job, and I'm really looking forward to it too. We'll see you all there.
See you, everyone.